welcome everyone to the VANTEC Angel Network meeting. And we are really happy to have so many people here. I hope you guys are all staying dry. And we cannot believe it's already the last VANTEC meeting of 2021. Now, may 2022 be better, because we've always been hoping that we could all get together in person. But maybe that will happen for us in 2022. Okay. So our mission at VANTEC, I mean, we've been around since April 1999. And I'm glad Mike's on the line here, because I went into the office today and picked up something that Mike had dug out, a VANTEC agenda from November 2nd, 2004. So I know that, Mike, do you recognize any of these companies? Private Software, Recombo, Vectis, Mail Channels, Treated Air Systems. Do you recognize any of these 5 companies from November 2004?
I recognize them, some favorably and some not so favorably. Some failed and some made it, and some are still working away. Mail Channels is thriving and doing well. Recombo became Agreement Express and had a wonderful exit. Vectis unfortunately didn't make it. They were a New Ventures winner one year, and it came out of Creo, if I remember correctly, or at least the founder came out of Creo. And the other ones are distant memories, and I can't recall them, but we have a lot of memorabilia like that also. You know?
I think we should put it in a museum of some sort.
Well, it's always interesting when you go back 10, 20 years and you look at all of the companies that presented and you say which ones made it and which ones didn't. You know, in the same situation is here today. We are looking at all these companies today and they all look good. And we know that some are going to make it big and some aren't. But for the ones that aren't, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. We like to call that a learning experience. And hopefully those that don't are wiser and smarter, and the entrepreneurs come back and get involved with other ventures. Sometimes the second and third times up to bat are the ones that hit the home runs. So it's always interesting to look back. It's also interesting to look at some of the reasons why some companies make it and some don't. We had an interesting Keiretsu session with a company earlier today, and people were commenting that the valuation was particularly high. And a couple of people in the audience pushed back and said, well, you know, one reason it's high is because it's a very professional team. It's entrepreneurs who've had track records and been successful. So that takes a lot of the risk out of it. You know, if you think of Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hours of experience, not too many startups, especially the CEOs, have that 10,000 hours of experience. But if they have that, if they can get that either by adding people to their team or ultimately just sticking it out for several years, that can make a world of difference, because in the end, a lot of it comes down to just good old experience, and not just expertise, but the experience of running a business. So anyway, enough said. We'll look forward to hearing today's pitches, and let's hope that in 5 or 10 years, many of them will still be around, paying off handsomely to the angels who are so brave today as to invest in them.
Exactly. Remember the first meeting in April 1999, 3 companies and all the angel investors sat around in the boardroom, and then moved forward to 2004. And I'm reading off an agenda with 5 companies. And today we have 13 companies to go through. So that's it's a pretty amazing. We're VANTEC has been a very storied history. We are the largest angel group in BC with well over 150 members. Almost 3,000 companies presented since Mike's first meeting in April 1999. And, you know, a good number have received investments. So moving on, investment by members. We have some data for Q1 2021. 55 companies have received $3.7 million from us. All of 2020, 87 companies have received almost 15 million. We're supported by NRC IRAP. We're very grateful, and we're members of the Canadian Angel Association, known as NACO, National Angel Capital Organization, as well as the American-based Angel Capital Association. And they really need data. So that's why we keep numbers like this, and that's why we bug you every so often to fill out the investor survey in email and in Slack. To become a member is for, if you're an accredited investors, we have two types of membership. We have a full membership and we have an online membership. The online membership gets recorded meetings, company profiles, and a pay per event. But if you're a full member, you actually attend these meetings as well as getting all the benefits of the online membership. And to sweeten it even more, if you are a member of one of our partner angel groups or funds, and of which we have a couple represented today, it's only $400 per year. We like to thank all the annual sponsors who have supported VANTEC almost from the very beginning. A special shout out to Faskin and Venture Labs, who have provided venues for us, and also to Tandem, TD, Western Pacific Trust Company, Invest Ventures, Raymond James, OKR Financial, and KTAX. Of course, we have a lot of community partners as well. We have eFund and Woodif, which are the active angel funds that are operating in our VANTEC community. And we have other community partners as well. Front Funder, Tandem, Volition, Spring, Kretzy Forum, Rocket Builders, ACA, NACO, and of course, Western Economic Diversification Canada. We have a pretty tight agenda today. We have community announcements because we're very community minded. Our ecosystem is pretty amazing. And when I compare our community and our ecosystem to other jurisdictions, we rank right up there. And a lot of my colleagues from other jurisdictions are rightfully envious of what we have built together. After that, we will have company presentations. We have 90-second updates and previews, and we have full presentations at 5 minutes. And then after that, we will have networking, which you've already had a taste of before this meeting started at 4. Upcoming events, take a look at our VANTEC website. You will see all of this listed. We have a number of investor events coming up, as well as community events. And I know Jackson is on the line because he and his colleagues have been spearheading the VANTEC Startup Visa Pitch Perfect previews. And there's a meeting tomorrow. Jackson, if you're on the line, do you want to say a few words?
Yes, thank you, Phil. So I know everybody loves these regular events and they like to see, promising companies, and sometimes you can't get enough of your fix. Well, we have a solution for you. Come to our meeting. That is tomorrow at 9 a.m. The Zoom link will be sent after this event concludes, and you get to hear the best of the foreign companies that made their way to VANTEC, and maybe you'll find something, it's hidden gem in the rough, so to speak. Back to Delzo.
Thanks a lot, Jackson. And like I said, we're very community minded. So we're not just locally here in Vancouver, Lower Mainland, BC, but we also stretch further afield to the entire Pacific Northwest. And we're blessed with Lars today from E8. Lars, are you there?
I am. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm going to stop sharing so that you can share your screen.
Great. Yeah, so thanks for having us. E8, or used to be Element 8, has been around not quite as long as VANTEC, but since 2006, we've been exclusively focused on what we used to call clean tech. We've been there since clean tech 1.0's boom and bust and seen all the cycles of that. We are out of that spinning E8 Ventures. It's going to be an independent venture fund It'll be collaborating closely with the E8, the Angel Network, and benefiting from all the experience and the connections that we have, with lots of venture partners and advisors and so forth. I won't go into any detail here, of course, but we're targeting 50 million. Expect to invest in 15 to 20 companies in what we call enabling technologies within climate tech. And it also builds on a small venture fund that we launched in 2015 that's done quite nicely. Sort of proved the concept of having a venture fund associated with an angel network, currently valuation of 1.85 times the invested capital. If this is interesting to you as a way to diversify your investments, participate in a venture fund associated with the group, you're welcome to join us if you want. We'll have a little bit longer presentation, about an hour on December 7th, and I'll put that in the chat for you afterwards. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Lars. Now, even though you're based in Seattle, your fund will be looking to companies north of the border, correct?
Absolutely. E8 Angels has invested a fair bit up in BC, and the fund will invest anywhere in North America, with even ability to tactically invest overseas in Europe or Asia, but majority will be US and Canada.
Thank you very much, Lars. Okay, back to our regular programming here. All right, so just take a look at the VANTEC agenda. If you have forgotten or want to know a little bit more about each of these events, the details are there to contact Lars and others. Whoop. There, okay, when we do our presentations, we will start with the previews and updates, the 90-second pitches, and then we will be asking you to vote on your favorites, because these companies that receive the top votes will be invited back for a full presentation if they pass our VANTEC pre-screening panel. So the top companies are invited in front of a select group of VANTEC sponsors and members, and they get feedback, and then they are selected for full presentations. And we have 5 presentations today, full presentations today. They too, at once upon a time, were 90-second pitches, and they were chosen to be pre-screened. They were selected by the committee, and now they're here for full presentations, because this will happen in the breakout rooms. Each of our full presenters will get a dedicated breakout room so that you can do your deep dive Q&A. And then, of course, we always want to improve. We've really changed a lot, as you can tell, since April 1999, and we continue to evolve and change, and hopefully for the better. So the breakout rooms work this way. We will have 2 10-minute cycles. Each of the full presentations will have their own breakout rooms. Their respective angel sponsors will help to facilitate the Q&A. And then there are extra rooms available. You do not have to stay in the room that you've been assigned. You can give requests to the VANTEC team, and they could put you in a room of your choice. Once those 2 cycles of 10 minutes are done, you return to the common room, and we'll have random breakouts at 5 minutes apiece until the end of our meeting. House rules: please mute yourself if you're not speaking or presenting. Please be present. Keep your phone and PC notifications off. Let's give some respect to these presenters. They worked really hard to get here. During the networking, network, please make new connections. Use the chat function to post any announcements or your contact information so that people can contact you afterwards. That's for all the presenters. So no soliciting unless you're one of those presenting entrepreneurs. Please identify yourself. Are you one of the companies, investor, or community member? Again, please network, invite for all the entrepreneurs. 90 seconds is not a long time. Even 5 minutes is not a long time. Invite interested investors for follow-on meetings and demos. Send your email updates to interested investors. Keep your GUST profile up to date, because all VANTEC members have access to our GUST system, and they will look at your GUS profile if they're interested to contact you further after this meeting. Other perks that we do for our presenters, we are recording this event as we do all the others, and we share our recorded pitch and GUS with its members. And made mention of the Pacific Northwest, we share our full presentations with the Pacific Northwest investor groups like Lars at E8. We have a number of ways to connect online, so you can network on Slack for investor members and sponsors. After this meeting, we will have DocSend, and GUS profiles are shared on the agenda and in newsletters, and investors can offer contact information on the company feedback forums. If you're not able to access any of these venues and you are a VANTEC member or a sponsor, shoot us an email to info@vantec.ca and we'll get you all set up. That includes Slack. So again, if you're not on Slack and you're a member or a sponsor, please make sure you email us and we'll get you set up. And we have a number of different ways to connect, so please take a look at that. And let's get started. Okay, I believe the first company that's up is ｙMAGEN.
Well, thank you for having me. So our company is called ｙMAGEN, and it's an acronym for our mission of empowering a generation. We are an augmented reality company that marries the physical and digital world without the need for glasses or phones. And we have 3 products, which I'm going to show you here today. One of which is a dual plane 30-foot holographic canvas for auditoriums. The second is a digital studio to reside on campus to create content and broadcast from. And the third is a holographic speaker series. You're going to see some of this as I sit down and take you through, the video here. So the problem we're attacking is that universities and colleges have billions in physical assets, but are really stuck in the past in terms of their content delivery strategy in what is an increasingly digital world. And our solution is a holographic superhighway that broadcasts some of the world's best across institutions, both in person and online on a large scale. Our market is the almost 30,000 universities and colleges around the world that have, on average, a $1.4 billion endowment. And our business model is that we charge $12,000 a month per display and $2,500 per month per studio on a 24-month term, plus 30% of all revenue created and distributed through our networks. And our opportunity is that we're doing a seed round currently for $2.5 million, which will fund the live launch event at 3 universities, East, West, and Central North America. And at that event, we will be announcing to all universities across North America that we will begin taking pre-orders. And the event is in preparation for our Series A round, where our investors will be multiplying their value. So we hope you will join us and be part of the next $10 billion company powering the metaverse. Thank you. And if you have questions, come talk to me afterwards, please.
Excellent, Jeff. You could put your contact information in the chat function so that people can see that. And thank you very much. Next up is UmbraCity.
Hi everyone, my name is Amir Antazari, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of UmbraCity. So UmbraCity is an advertising media company. We display ads in places where others can't. So out-of-home advertising is a $38 billion industry that displays ads in physical spaces such as billboards and digital screens. We partner with high traffic properties to offer them a unique amenity service such as automated umbrella rental kiosks in exchange for advertising. Last year, or 2019, I was here raising our first equity investment, and we raised $1 million. Last year, we launched our advertising platform, and today we're at 134 locations across the Lower Mainland, generating $250,000 in advertising revenue. And that provides 82% gross profit margin across our residential network. And these are some of our 2021 advertisers on our network. This year, we're raising our second round of $1.5 million, and that is to expand the network in other markets. The goal is to be, by 2024, be across 5 markets and generate $54 million, again, with that 82% gross profit margins. Thank you so much, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you very much. That was UmbraCity.
Thank you.
Next up is VoxCell BioInnovation. Great, we can see your presentations full screen. Perfect.
Hello everyone. My name is Dr. Carolina Valente, and I'm the CEO of VoxCell. And did you know that it takes about 15 years and more than $2 billion for a new anti-cancer drug to be developed? These drugs go through multiple tests in the lab before they are tested in animal models and in people. And the problem is these platforms used to do these tests are too simplistic. And because of that, the results, they just don't match from the lab to clinical trial. But VoxCell is solving this problem by creating a better platform for drug testing. We are creating cancer tissue models that mimic the complexity of the human body. Our tissue models are really human-like, and they even display blood vessels. Researchers will be able to use these platforms for drug testing, increasing the correlation between lab and clinical trials. And our tissue models are creating a layer-by-layer method using bioprinting. Our bioprinter is Canada's first high-resolution bioprinter and has been created entirely by our team. Our tissue models will be sold to academia, research centers, and pharmaceutical companies. We are currently raising a pre-seed round, and for $600,000 Canadian dollars for a $3 million pre-money, and we have so far $250,000 committed. And we are hoping to close this round by the end of the year. So do you remember the 15 years and more than $2 billion? Well, don't worry, VoxCell is about to change that. And I hope you can help us to make this a success. Thank you.
Thank you. That was VoxCell. Next up is Univoice Corporation.
Great. Get this started. All right, can you confirm once you see my screen, please?
Okay, we do see your screen.
Okay, perfect. Hello, everyone. My name is Sammy Halby. I'm the founder and CEO of Univoice. We built the first mobile app that teaches languages through music, targeting a beachhead market of 18 to 33-year-olds with casual language learning motivations. We are tackling the 2 biggest problems in e-learning, a lack of engagement and a lack of long-term retention, with a scientifically backed and highly effective method of music. The e-language market is doubling from $13 billion in 2020 to $27 billion by 2027. 2 billion people are learning languages daily, with roughly 500 million learning through digital methods. As a proof point for our method, we've already surpassed the average 30-day mobile user retention rate in the e-learning industry by 1,200%. Apart from being the first to use music, our key differentiators are: 1, our focus on colloquial speech in addition to proper language, our focus on speaking and listening, and our pending release of a group learning experience to supplement individual learning. Our exec team is uniquely positioned to pull this off, as we combined have attained fluency in 5 languages, sport 25 years of language expertise, and 30 years of consumer tech expertise. Presently, we have our beta in market with 8,500 users and 1,700 monthly active. Regarding our needs, our capital need on the tech front will be deployed to release our user feedback-driven version 1 product by Q1 of 2022. Our capital need on the GTM front will be used to validate our 2 to 3 core user segments that we've identified through increased ad spend as well as marketing. And our third need, content, pertains to growing our song library and sourcing for social media interns to manage our social channels. We'll be hosting a Univoice demo day on Tuesday, December 14th at 1 p.m. CST. I'll be including this sign-up link within the chat for the Zoom. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Univoice. AutoMetrics, you're next.
All right, can you see my screen?
We can see your presentation, and Jackson will
Awesome.
start the timer whenever you're ready.
All right, thank you. Hello, everybody. This is Mark, the founder and CEO at AutoMetrics. So case studies have shown that over 10% of the cost of automotive parts can be associated with poor quality. And this can reduce to below 1% with early detection of those quality issues. And this is what actually increases the cost of actually manufacturing in automotive production. And in this picture, welding is one of the key processes that contributes greatly to this cost. However, even today, when it comes to quality inspection of welding, it is much based on finding defects after the fact. And this is because the only way for quality monitoring in real time is to have an experienced welder to look at the process and determine the quality of the process. And this is what AutoMetrics has done with machine learning and analytics. Instead of reactively looking for defects, Inspection 4.0 proactively monitors quality to avoid defects in the first place. Our patent pending system essentially extracts quality signals from sensor data and acts like an experienced welder's eyes in detecting issues in real time or during the process. Thank you so much. I'd be happy to discuss AutoMetrics in the following meetings.
Right, thank you very much, AutoMetrics. Next up is OnTraccr Technologies. OnTraccr, are you there?
Yes, I am. All right, let me share my screen here. Okay.
Perfect.
Can you see this? All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Syed, CEO at OnTraccr. Construction is one of the oldest and largest industries in history, yet construction businesses have long been managing projects using outdated and inefficient manual methods. Companies are still using ancient tools such as paper and spreadsheets, or poorly built project management or ERP software systems. All of these methods are based on manual entry, and manual entry is not only highly inefficient, but it continues to cost companies significant amounts of time and money in productivity losses every single week. OnTraccr is the industry's first specialized workflow automation platform that enables companies to automate their project management workflows and minimize the amount of manual entry needed across their entire business. After spending our first few months going from concept to build to beta, we now have 4 companies paying for annual subscriptions. We've launched pilot programs with 8 more companies happening right now, and we're negotiating enterprise deals with 3 of the largest trade subcontractors in BC. Our founding team has experienced the pain of manual entry firsthand throughout our many years of construction management experience. And we've also just added a former president of Ledcor Group, one of the largest construction companies in North America, to our advisory board. With investment into construction tech reaching record levels this year, we truly believe we have the right team for the right market at the right time. We'll be raising our seed round in Q3 of next year, and we're looking for investors to come join us on our mission to bring automation to construction. Thank you very much.
All right. So take a look at your chat, everyone. There should be a link for you to choose your favorite 90-second pitch. Didn't want to say this earlier, but 3 of the companies that were on today's agenda were the winners of Launch Academy's demo day. But we're not going to say who they are because that will just bias your voting. Let's see if they make it to the top of the list. So take a look. Put your votes in for your favorite 90-second pitch. The top voted companies will be invited to a VANTEC pre-screening session in which the committee will select the companies that will come back to VANTEC with a full presentation. And speaking of full presentations, we've got 5 on the way. First up is Autonopia. And we have Douglas Fast, who is the angel sponsor for Autonopia. So Doug, while Autonopia is getting their presentation set up, could you say a few words as to why you think we should pay special attention to Autonopia? Doug?
Hello, I'm here. So I've been asked to introduce Mohammed. I've been working with Mohammed and Hussein, his co-founder, for the last year at Coast Capital Savings Venture Connection Incubator at SFU. So I have a long engineering background, products and tech and building, as well as executive side. And so I've been tuning their thinking to see, so they can see around corners and go forward successfully in this turbulent world at some times. And so I think they've made significant progress in both technically and on the customer development side. And I think they'd be a good investment because they are doing the work that they need to do to make their company successful.
Great, thanks, Doug. So Mohammed, could you please present Autonopia?
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much, Doug, for the kind introduction and all the support and mentorship. It's been invaluable to our company. Hello, everyone. Thanks for having us here today. Can you see the presentation? Is that?
Yes, and
okay.
Jackson will start the timer.
Yeah, sure. In order to clean the windows of tall buildings and all the similar types of work on tall structures, today a worker has to be either suspended from ropes or stand on a scaffolding and do the work by hand. Not only this is dangerous for the workers, but it is also extremely expensive and inefficient for the businesses providing the services. And more importantly, the younger generation are less inclined to take on this line of work. This is a workforce that is aging, is 98% male, has a very high turnover, and has to meet the demand of a market that has more than tripled in size in 1 decade. This is an unsustainable industry. Every customer that we have spoken with have told us that they're struggling on a daily basis to find qualified workers for the projects. And to solve this, we have designed a robotic platform to take over the dangerous work at height, allowing the workers, human workers, to get back on the ground from safety. This robot is designed to be equipped with 1 or more mechanisms on board for performing different types of tasks on the structure. And we are starting with window cleaning on the buildings, as you see in this video. We are offering our robots in a robot as a service model. Our customers are the contractor companies providing maintenance and window cleaning services to the building managers. And each robot is leased to our customers for $75,000 a year US, and our COGS for each unit is $28,000. In this value chain, our ROI is about 200%. Our responsibility, aside from leasing the robot, is to provide maintenance and support to our customers and train the operator that our customers hire for executing the project once a year to make sure that the operators are efficient and using the robots safely. In terms of traction, on the business side, we have 9 interested customers we are connected with across 3 countries, which are the 3 main countries we are focusing on: Canada, US, Australia. These 3 countries comprise 75% of our target market. And the estimated value of these customers is at $11 million in ARR for us, only considering their current market reach and not the growth we're expecting them to have once they adopt our robotic platform. And we have signed LOIs with 3 of the largest customers for the initial 6 units for the initial order. Customers who are looking after landmark buildings such as Wall Center and Trump Tower in Vancouver or CN Tower in Toronto. And in terms of the product progress, this year we filed our provisional patent, both covering a design and method. We built and have been lab testing our scaled down prototype for a few months, and now we're in the process of manufacturing our MVP, which we are planning to get ready for April next year for an alpha test with one of our customers here in Vancouver. Following that, we are planning for 2 paid beta units with our customers to be delivered in the fall season, operational in Vancouver and Toronto. We're planning to launch in 2023 at a 20% discounted rate on the price that I mentioned to both compensate for the inefficiencies that us and our customers will have, and also to incentivize early adopters. In 2024, we are continuing at the same discounted rate, entering the US market, increasing the number of robots to 60. And in 2025, our focus is going to be scaling in the North American market. And by 2025, we are going full price. We are planning for 5 stages of autonomy for our robot. And by 2025, we have reached the stage 4 or 5, which means that our robot is going to be far more efficient. Our operational framework and our customers is going to be more efficient. And we are going to be able to offer at full price, estimating 290 units across North America. And this is our team. My background is computer science. I'm a second-time founder. I have about 13 years of experience in the industry as engineer and executive. And my co-founder and CTO, Hussein, has a PhD in mechatronics from SFU, and he's a recipient of Outstanding Entrepreneur Award this year from MyTax. We are looking to raise $400,000 Canadian for a pre-seed, which is essentially bridging us to our seed round of $3 million in Q2 next year. We're going to use these funds for expanding and hiring engineering and manufacturing team, building on our MVP and filing our PCT patent and additional provisional patents that we're planning for in the next few months, and essentially get to our pilot pre-orders for fall season. Work at height is not safe. It's never going to be safe for human workers. We believe that robots should replace people at height, allowing the workers to get back on the ground, operate the robots from safety for any type of job at height. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was perfect. Thank you, Autonopia. Everyone, take a look at your chat. There should be a link in there for you to give company feedback to Autonopia. Tell Autonopia how you really feel. If you would like to know more about Autonopia, put your contact information as well. As a full presenter, Autonopia will have a dedicated breakout room, so you can talk to Mohammed and his sponsor, Doug, in their breakout room and ask some deep dive questions. Okay, next up is Demonic Trader. And Alina Smid is the angel sponsor for Demonic Trader. And Alina, could you give us a rundown on why you think we should pay special attention to Demonic Trader?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm actually in the ITA with NRC IRAP, so I'm not an angel per se. But nevertheless, I'm happy to be introducing Demonic Trader today. I met Heyu and Alex a few months ago when they approached IRAP. So we're at the start of our mutual journey. As I learned more about their business, I was quite surprised to learn that the market for for Magic the Gathering game is so big and global. And we already know that, gaming has a very, very committed clientele. So my colleague, Eric, and I helped them with the pitch as they're looking to fundraise. With their own personal experience, because they have been actively involved in this niche industry, with the legal background, to maybe face some regulatory challenges, they appear to be very well positioned to increase traction in their niche. So I think they should be interesting client to investors looking to get some exposure in popular collectible asset class. So without further ado, I think we should hear it from Demonic Trader.
Okay, thank you. So how were you trade? Yeah.
Hello.
Excellent. You're on the ball.
Okay, so everyone can see my deck screen.
We can see your
That's
presentation,
perfect.
And Jackson will be ready with his timer.
I just need to wait for that timer to come up. Oh, there it is. Perfect. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Demonic Trader pitch. My name's Hayu. I'm here with my partner, Alex, today. Demonic Trader is a Canadian exclusive online marketplace serving the secondary market in Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering is a trading card game, and these are tabletop games in which users buy and open up randomized packets of cards, but they're looking for specific cards with which to build their decks, battle each other, and play the game. This leads to a huge secondary market because when you open packs, you end up with a lot of cards that you're not looking for and you don't need, but you're actually trying to find specific combinations of cards that you do want. Of the entire trading card game market, Magic is the largest portion and the oldest game. In Canada, it's worth about $185 million. And Alex and I are actually both incredibly experienced in Magic the Gathering. I'm a professional tournament broadcaster. I'm very well known in the community, and I have a legal background. Alex was a power user of similar marketplaces back in the EU before we moved to Canada. And when we moved here, we were just surprised that in Canada, there is no good service for trading cards online. So we built our own platform. In Magic the Gathering, players are often both buyers and sellers of cards. When you're buying cards, you're trying to find exact combinations of 60 to 100 cards, which leads to a lot of stress and difficulty because even when you go to a big brick and mortar store, they're not going to have the exact cards you need since there are over 20,000 unique cards. For sellers, there's essentially no good way of selling cards in Canada. You can spend hours going on Facebook groups or eBay, which is incredibly time consuming, or you could go to a retail store and sell them your whole collection, but they're going to take about a 43% cut from you. There's no international solution in Canada because of our regulations and our customs tariffs, etc. So our solution is a simple, optimized peer-to-peer platform for the selling of Magic cards across Canada. We save players both time and money because we allow sellers to manage large amounts of inventory at the same time. And we also have built smart tools that allow buyers to just essentially put in the entire list of cards that they need and find everything with the click of one button. Part of the reason that we're looking for funding is also to build a mobile app, which will make life even easier as players can just scan their cards and upload them directly to the marketplace. Here's a screenshot of what our platform looks like right now. As you can see, it's a beautiful dark mode design, intuitive. We are extremely proud of what we've created. So in terms of the competition here in Canada, there are essentially two viable alternatives. The first is retail stores. They have a good service, but the price that you're paying is extortionate, both on the buying and selling side. You can go to a general marketplace like eBay or Facebook, but it's hard work, inefficient, and risky. As I said before, international markets are inaccessible to Canadian sellers, and when you're buying from them, you're essentially taking a huge risk of losing the products that you're buying. So how do we make our money? The headline is a 10% cut on each transaction. That's 7% from the seller and 3% from the buyer. And our target in 2022 is that we are going to make $254,000 of net revenue over $4.5 million of transactions in total. We are going to get there by immediately bringing on the 10 largest professional sellers in Canada using my industry connections. We're actually currently integrating the first of them right now, and that's going to cost about $1,200 CPA. We're also targeting 24,000 individual players, and that's going to cost about $8 CPA. So let's have a look at our projections. As you can see, we expect to become profitable in about Q4 of next year. And in the early stages, our costs are going to increase in line with transactions and inventory. But as we move towards 23 and 24, our cost increase becomes much lower once all the infrastructure is stable, and the number of transactions in particular is going to rise as players get used to using our platform for more than 1 or 2 trades, and they're going to do the majority of their trading on our website. So today we are looking for $400,000 investment for 10% equity in the company. With that, we're going to build a mobile application. We're going to break even in Q4 of next year and reach our substantial profit goal in 2024. So thank you so much for listening, and we will see you in the breakout room afterwards.
Excellent, Demonic Trader. Everybody, take a gander at the chat room, chat function. You will see the link for you to give your feedback to Demonic Trader, any questions, any comments that you might have, and contact information if you want to want them to follow up with you. And I just want to say that this is really important to all the companies. They work so hard to get to where they are now. And VANTEC is usually the first stop on their journey for raising capital. So any feedback that you can give to them, any helpful hints, tips would be very much appreciated. So thank you to Demonic Trader and all the full presenters that are coming on. Next up is RailHaul Technologies. And I believe Cher Hinton is in the room to give us a reason of why we, or many reasons, as to why we should be paying attention to RailHaul.
Great. Well, thank you very much. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. So thank you so much. Yes, I am an angel investor in RailHaul. I was on the due diligence team for Keiretsu Forum with RailHaul. We actually had a consolidated due diligence. It was a very short period of time. But interestingly enough, the entire deal was reconfigured in that short period of time because of successes that Mike was having. So I just met Mike Price, the CEO of RailHaul, during the due diligence process, and have become a huge fan in how he set up this project, how he's managing RailHaul, and also his tenacity in pulling in milestones, getting things done faster, and in a smarter way than anyone could have expected. I like the technology because it is clean tech. I'm an electrical engineer, so I also was interested in this from a hardware standpoint. But I think the most important thing that I would want to know if I were a potential investor is that this is a clean tech play that also makes sense from a numbers standpoint. With early interest in the mining industry with partners, they're indicating a 40% reduction in overall cost savings. Reduction in cost with this technology. And like I said, the opportunity, the investment, everything makes sense both from an environmental standpoint, which is a personal interest of mine, from a practical standpoint, backed up with patent protection, and then also from a customer standpoint, looking at what they're standing to save on the technology, on the savings that RailHaul offers. So on that note, I would like to introduce Mike Price, the CEO of RailHaul.
Thank you, Mike. You are on mute. And whenever you're ready, Jackson will start the timer. Thank you very much for that, Cher. It's very encouraging to know that the Keiretsu members have invested in Mike.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Perfect, too many mute buttons. Thank you very much, Cher, indeed. So yes, Mike Price from RailHaul. We are bringing self-propelled electric freight rail cars to the industrial transportation segments. Our first segment is mining, because mining's got a massive problem. A lot more has to come out of the ground very soon in order to meet our respective needs. The old technologies that they're relying on are just not going to do the trick, not going to get them there. In fact, haul trucks are a significant problem, not just from an emissions perspective, but from a cost perspective. They have to be replaced every 5 to 7 years. And the tires and engines more frequently than that. So we've worked, as Cher mentioned, very closely with the mining sector to configure our technology to their needs and their use case. And we have indeed validated significant cost savings and provided, really, we think, an enabling platform for decarbonization of mining. We are highly configurable technology. We are a lot of standard components that have been smartly woven together on an individual rail car. We have some proprietary patents associated with that, of course. Each car, though, can also be combined in the combination of powered and unpowered cars, so we can meet pretty much any haul need. Comprehensive U.S. patents and regional and national coverages. We operate in mining. Our first 10 years probably won't be right in the mine pits. It'll be at the lip of the pit, off to satellite facilities and process facilities. But we operate in the same environments. We just take up a lot less space and we do it a lot more efficiently. But we are actually loaded in very similar fashions. So existing load mechanisms will work in many cases. And we use standard rail and components and systems to put it in place. So we are complementary to long rail and mainline rail. We are not in competition with them. We'll feed them. We do use some of their technology. Lots of upside in other industries, ports, hubs, remote communities, and stranded assets, to name just a few. But we are highly focused on the mining use case because we have high applicability from 7 kilometers to 120 kilometers. Yes, directly compete with and will knock out a lot of haul truck activity. We are more complementary to conveyor and rail bears, which are good for really steep, high volume, short distances. And again, complementary to traditional rail. Massive market, huge learnings. Some 30,000 surface mine haul trucks in existence today. 15% of the fleet is replaced every year. And the low-hanging fruit, which is kind of the haul routes we were talking about, some 20% of that, good $4 to $6 billion a year available for market for us. A lot of conversations happening with a lot of mining companies. We've zeroed in on a half dozen of them with near-term use cases. We are in front of the board of Atlantic Gold December 6th on the initial project there. We have been qualified by Nevada Gold for the next 3 projects that they're doing. And Teck is waiting for us to do our first full-size prototype, which is why we're here talking to you, before they engage with us on a field demonstration. We have a very attractive-looking revenue curve, as all technology companies ought to. The difference is we don't need to sell dozens or hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of widgets or licenses to get there. We are a bigger, high-value asset that brings high value to our customers. To give you an example, by 2026, we're quite comfortable. We will be achieving $50, $60 million a year in revenue, and that is highly risked off of our sales funnel. That represents just 18 vehicles, which is basically a really small fleet for a small mine. So we've done bench scale. We are building our first prototype right here in New Westminster at SRY Facilities, a Washington Group company. It will be ready for March. Everyone's welcome to come and see it. We have a great founding set of founding members, deep rail experience and rail technology experience. The past managing director for mining for Liebherr, one of our biggest competitors, is working for us in the Americas. Great set of advisors with deep mining backgrounds, as well as rail and hydrogen and energy. Good set of partners, including, happy to say, BNSF Logistics has agreed to do all of our mechanical design engineering on our first prototype. That's a contribution on their part in exchange for some licensing, and they are looking at participating as well in the round. The round is 2.5 million. $500,000 is already in the bank unrestricted. Another 100,000 committed by Keiretsu members. We are looking forward to having conversations with your members. And we can go into more detail in the chat room.
Thank you very much. That was RailHaul. Everybody take a look at your chat function. You will see the link for you to do a short survey, give some feedback to RailHaul. They've been getting a lot of play. Of course, they came to us through Keiretsu, so we all know the quality of the companies that come through that channel. So please do fill out the form. It's very important to RailHaul and to all the other companies that you fill out the forms. So please do that. And if you have any deep dive questions, you can put them on here, or you could even go into the network breakout rooms and ask those questions. Thank you very much, RailHaul. Next up is NADA. Very interesting company. Elaine Liang, you are the angel sponsor for NADA. Could you tell us a little bit more about why you think it's so interesting and why we need to pay attention?
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Elaine Liang. I'm a current advisor and investor with NADA. Like NADA's founder, Brianne Miller, we both started our careers as marine biologists, and we've really experienced firsthand that the threats our oceans are facing are related to our food systems, especially food packaging leading to plastic pollution. NADA is an omnichannel package-free grocery delivery company on a mission to connect people to a just and regenerative food system, championing a community food system by linking buyers to suppliers and offering healthy and packaged products. They have a really impressive list of accolades that include being women-led, carbon neutral, our award-winning certified B Corp. They're also 1% for the Planet Company and a CEO venture with food systems work featured in lots of media, such as New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and Forbes as a leader in their sector. What's unique about NADA is that they're tech-enabled and have developed the systems like e-com and SaaS to scale a circular and package-free local food supply chain. This tech is valuable to larger companies who want to integrate local food and circular systems into their stores. They've been successfully operating in Vancouver as a true omnichannel brand, and they're raising money to scale across new geographies and replicate their success. They are currently raising $1.5 million, and they've already had $1.1 million committed. So they're looking for their last few values-aligned investors to close the round, and they do expect to oversubscribe. So why invest? Well, they're a wonderful opportunity. Not only are they an established brand, there's a growing market opportunity, they're omni-channel and ready to scale, but they truly have the technology, systems, and most importantly, the core people needed to really disrupt the whole grocery store industry. There hasn't really been any innovation within grocery stores in the last 50 years, and it's really time that we move towards a just and transparent food system. And basically, if you're looking for a company that is making the world a better place while making a lot of money, NADA is the perfect choice for you. So happy to introduce Brianne Miller, CEO of NADA.
Thank you. Okay, Nada, whenever you're ready.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for the kind introduction, Elaine. So my name is Brianne, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of NADA. So we all know that our conventional grocery system is broken. It's extremely carbon intensive, very wasteful, and there's little to no transparency. It's really hard to understand where our food is coming from and how it gets to us. As a marine biologist, I've seen firsthand just how much of an impact our industrial food system is having on the health of our oceans. Our current food system is responsible for a full quarter of global greenhouse gas emissions, and there's a huge opportunity to localize and improve the carbon footprint of our food system. So our solution is NADA, a tech-enabled omni-channel package-free grocery store and carbon-neutral delivery service. We do this by allowing our customers to bring in their own containers to refill with food and working with suppliers to provide products to us in upcycled packaging. We're also partnered with a carbon-neutral bicycle delivery service. And essentially everything that we have built is completely underpinned by proprietary technology and a custom e-commerce platform that enables circularity, the tracking of containers, and a retail NFC software that enables our customers to digitally track and weigh their containers. So imagine if you walked into any grocery store and could shop package free and buy only what you need, reducing both food and packaging waste. Essentially what Spud has been able to do for grocery delivery, we've been able to do for facilitating a circular local food system. This is just a quick overview of what the customer experience is like. So all you need to do is log on to nadagrocery.com, browse more than 1,000 SKUs of locally and responsibly sourced goods, add them to your cart, choose your containers, and then behind the scenes, our team is fulfilling grocery orders in upcycled packaging. Our customers have the option to fulfill their orders through pickup, delivery, or picking up in store. So what makes NADA unique is truly our circular economy supply chain, both with customers and suppliers. There's a huge ripple effect, and we're very well positioned in the supply chain as a retailer to have these conversations at different ends. Our operations are also carbon negative, which means that as we scale, we continue to draw down greenhouse gas emissions. The fact that we're tech enabled is also key. We're the only ones that have built a system that will actually enable this model to scale. As this is also evidenced by more than 100 companies from around the world reaching out for support and our technology. We're also an extremely transparent brand with incredible brand loyalty. And as Elaine mentioned, we are a certified B Corporation, 1% for the Planet Company and CEO venture. We're currently capturing about 10% of our total addressable market in East Vancouver. And if we were to partner with a large organization to help us scale internationally across Canada and the US, we would be addressing a $10 billion total addressable market. As a true omni-channel brand, our business model is comprised of retail, delivery, pickup, and Nada's Own, which is a line of house-made products made of surplus food to help us divert shrink and improve our margins. We hit $1 million in revenue in our first year, $1.5 million in our second, and built a brand new $1 million e-commerce revenue stream in the last year once we pivoted online. Because of the technology that we've invested in and the model that we've built, we've been able to create an incredibly efficient and exciting opportunity for customers to come in and shop package free. It really is this model that tends to keep people engaged and coming back because it's so quick and efficient. We have extremely high returning customer rates of 82%, a low customer acquisition cost, and average cart sizes online hovering above $100. We also have higher than average industry standard margins and expect these to grow post-raise to 50% with the addition of additional product categories. Our technology will also enable any other store that sells by weight to do the same. So we are raising a $1.5 million seed round to expand our services, including e-commerce pickup and delivery, with a key focus on continuing to develop our custom e-commerce platform and tariff technology. There are also other examples in our space of companies in different countries successfully raising rounds of similar sizes. Our use of proceeds are a combination of people, warehousing needs, and inventory, with a large focus on the digital media and the e-commerce and technology side of things. We have a diverse leadership team of 7 that is supported by an advisory board that has more than 100 years of collective experience scaling and growing both retail and e-commerce brands online, including Arc'teryx, MEC, Whole Foods, and Shopify and Sput. A quick fundraising update. We do have $1.1 million of this round committed, including recent commitments of $200,000 just in the last week. This round, we're in DD for a lead for this round with the CEO Venture Fund. We were recently backed by Renewal Partners, who is one of our existing funders who just committed to this round as well. And we're raising in a partnership with Red Thread Ventures. We are 89% women on our cap table, which is something that we're very proud of. All of our current investors from our friends and family round have converted. And if you're in BC, we're also an EBC eligible company. So we're excited to continue the conversation and would love your support. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was Nada. And take a look in your chat. You will see the link to give the feedback to Nada. And I can attest that I've been to the Nada store in East Vancouver. Very impressive. Okay, next up, we will have One Cup. And I believe Bill Smith, are you in the audience?
I'm here. I started my video and I've unmuted myself, and there I am. Thank you.
Here you are. Okay, so why should we pay attention to One Cup?
Well, thank you. My name is Bill Smith. I'm a disciplined and experienced angel investor. I've got well more than 10,000 hours. So I look at that in the rearview mirror. And I'm here today to introduce Mocha and Jeffrey, who are the founders of One Cup AI. And One Cup AI, which I have invested in myself personally, and I'm also on the board of directors of, has a proprietary artificial intelligence-based system to remotely monitor animals, looking at their health and their well-being, to support the health and well-being of animals. The initial product, which has been developed, focuses on cattle on ranches, but the vision is to expand into all sorts of animals around the world. And we're currently working on projects on swine, sheep, elk, bison, and also on some companion animals such as dogs. Because it's a focus on AI facial recognition, we're able to provide, as Jeffrey will demonstrate, access to huge markets and multiple channels of getting to market. And that's really what excites me, is that there's a lot of opportunity, there's a product, there's revenue, and there's a lot of big markets and multiple channels to get to those markets. So over to Jeff and Mocha.
Thank you, Bill. So my name is Mocha Shmigalski, and I'm the CEO of OneCup AI, where we've created an artificial intelligence that we call Betsy for bovine expert tracking and surveillance. And Betsy is designed to help ranchers manage their herd over 1 cup of coffee in the morning.
Hello, and my name is Jeffrey Shmigalski, and I'm the CTO of OneCup, and I created Betsy. Betsy uses computer vision, Face ID, effectively, to identify animals and track what they do and everything about them. In the lower left of this picture here, you can see that's actually Face ID in action. That tells what part of the animal is unique. That gives away who it is. OneCup uses Face ID to track health, growth, activity, nutrition, and phenotypes. Currently, we have 20 beta sites. We're a team of 12 people. We have a board of directors, a strong board. And of course, we have a dozen advisors helping us in various aspects of the industry.
So ranching today is the same as it's been for the last 60 years. It involves a lot of time-consuming, hands-on for the rancher. Day or night, when their animals are calving in the springtime, they're out there checking on the health and well-being of their animals. So the problem becomes that there is no way to scale their business, and a lot of ranchers work off farm. So these ranchers are relying on other people to check on their animals when they can't be there, that might not be as skilled as they are. The way that calving works is that an animal goes into labor and the calf is born. The calf needs to get up right away, suckle from its mother to thrive in its youth, and then continue to grow and progress. Any number of things could go wrong in this process, and a rancher has to be there immediately to deal with any problems that arise. Currently, it's very hands-on, and we want to change that.
The solution is Betsy, effectively eyes of the farmer when the farmer is away. Betsy can be where the farmer is not all the time. She is an AI, an artificial intelligence based on computer vision, that is hands-off, inexpensive, and we provide her as a turnkey solution. This is what Betsy actually looks like at a hardware level. Very quickly, she's a series of cameras and an edge compute device or a cloud compute system that looks at animals 24/7. The cameras are Betsy's eyes. And this, my friends, is what Betsy actually sees. You're looking at state-of-the-art artificial intelligence that tracks animals, animal parts, IDs them, draws key points, key angles, and classifies everything an animal does, from standing, walking, mating, or giving birth. Betsy does all of this on every frame of video that she sees, and she does it in real time. This is artificial intelligence at the ranch. And Betsy does a lot with this vision. Once she sees that, she can do calving, but she can also do a lot more. For example, if I'm a cow, I'll try to hide my injuries. If I have foot rot, the humans may try to eat me. So I'll try to hide that injury. Betsy can see that injury a mile away. The animals don't realize they're being monitored. They don't try to hide their injuries when they're in front of cameras. We can see it and do much, much more, from tracking growth to building shipping manifests and so forth.
So the Canadian cattle market is huge. There are 12 million cattle in Canada. 10 million of those are in the beef market. Of those 10 million, there's a significant amount of ranches that have under 123 animals. The target market for us right now is the market of animals with less than 47 animals. Now, that might not seem like a lot of animals, but when you are watching all 47 of them at the same time, it can become quite a big task, especially when up to 53% of those part-time ranchers have off-the-farm jobs.
The market is huge. In Canada, we're only 1% of the worldwide market. There's 1 billion cattle and another 4 billion different livestock, from sheep to elk to bison. We have competition. We can beat them because we either have a better AI, and we're also fully automated, and we operate outdoors. We have a strong competitive advantage over our competition. Our business model is the SaaS model. We charge roughly $100 a month for a small ranch. And if you do the math, you get to about 12 million per year in Canada alone. We break even around 1,500 ranches. We're asking to raise $2.1 million US at a $10 million valuation. And we want to thank you for your time today to give our presentation and to hear about OneCup.
We hope you'll
Excellent.
join.
Thank you very much, Mocha and Jeff from OneCup. Again, you know the deal, folks. Take a look at chat, fill out the form, the feedback form for OneCup. Tell them how they did. Feedback, questions, comments, all are welcome, especially your contact information if you're interested for them to be in contact with you. And I'd like to repeat that for all of the full presentations today, because they worked really hard to get to where they are, and they really do appreciate your feedback. That's Autonopia, Demonic Trader, RailHaul Technologies, NADA, and OneCup. And before we go into the breakout rooms, I want to thank the VANTEC team. They're all the hardworking folks behind the scenes to make sure that the meeting runs smoothly. So shout out to Wendy, to Jackson, Peter Wilkins, and Frank Leffler. You guys want to unmute yourself and just say hello. Wave.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Thank you, everybody, for coming to VANTEC today. This is our last VANTEC of 2021, and we look forward to seeing you all again, all the participants, and thank you to the presenters. That we'll see you all again after the new year in January, on January 5th, 2022. Thank you.